cover.
For?
Rinse our hands clean with water.
That's right! You got it! Woo! Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash the germs away.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening and welcome to Today on One. I'm Maggie Forciero. In the news tonight, procedure to legal abortion in Namibia restrictive. Amupanda must answer me, says governors. Homeowners with shared water meters aggrieved by skyrocketing municipal bills. Female farmer determined to leave mark in male-dominated industry. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the Weather. Namibia has failed to deliver on recommendations made by the Human Rights Committee on International Covenant on the Civil and Political Rights in 2016 after it had expressed concerns over the country's health administrative procedures with regard to the legal terminations of pregnancies, citing that the process was complex. Ombudsman Basilius Yakua revealed, adding that since 2016 there have been no engagement from the relevant stakeholders to address the recommendations.
These recommendations is out there in the public, and it has been shared with the relevant line ministry. And from our knowledge, from as the Office of the Ombudsman, we have not really had any further discussions from the executive or the Minister of Health as what have they done so far since 2016. Have they addressed these issues, or are they busy addressing these issues? Because we also read the newspaper, we should have picked it up that they are busy addressing these recommendations. So they actually promise the UN treaty bodies that they will do something about it, but 4 years later, or 5 years later, since 2016, I have not heard anything from the Ministry of Health. So that's actually the UN treaty body monitoring the Namibia's international obligation to the treaty that they have signed. But on the African continent, we have a very important instrument, which is the Maputo Protocol on the rights of women. And Article 14 of the Maputo Protocol is very clear. And Namibia have ratified the Maputo Protocol without a reservation. It's one of the first countries that actually ratified this protocol. Even the international instruments, they recognize the fact that when your country is not really legalizing abortion, but they understand that you can, in law, because this is an international principle, on those grounds, you have to provide the services of abortion, but The question is that cumbersome administrative procedure is the major concern. So the ministry have not addressed that one.
In support of the law reform to expand freedom of choice on abortion, the Legal Assistance Center notes that abortion services, even within the confinement of the law, are not practically accessible, as it prevents access to safe and legal abortions to women with the least resources.
For many women in Namibia, if they have an unwanted pregnancy, they have the means to get the morning after pill, to get the correct information about how to use it, or if it's too late for that, they have the money to take a bus to South Africa, where safe and legal abortion is available. The difficulty is the vast majority of women in Namibia do not have the resources to take those steps. So they are left at either continuing an unwanted pregnancy or resorting to unsafe means. So for me, that is one of the most important things, is the law is not fair as it stands at the moment. But it's been the experience of the Legal Assistance Center that even in that situation, the steps are so difficult that people are not able to carry it out in time. In the last few years, we've had 2 minors who fell pregnant as a result of a rape. And in both cases, they were not able to complete the steps in time to practically access an abortion. You have to have 2 certificates from doctors. You have to have a certificate from a magistrate. The difficulty is people are not necessarily informed at the time that they report a rape of the fact that they can get a legal abortion. They're not assisted to go through those steps. It doesn't happen very often, so often the officials who are supposed to be assisting are not really familiar with what their duties are.
The Namibian police has over the past 3 years recorded a total of 13 legal abortions. Abortions under the current law may be legally procured if the pregnancy endangers the life of the woman, where the fetus is conceived as a result of rape or incest, and where the fetus was conceived through unlawful carnal intercourse.
Get ready to enjoy Simba's sounds of flavor.
All the Simba flavors. Let's roll. Slice, smoke beef. Playing a vinegar. Shaya chocolate. Shake it and mud.
Together we roar because Simba roars with flavor.
We can't wait to get the whole gang together. But until then,
let's stay safe.
Hi, welcome to the program. I'm Debula. So let's get on the road with this. Having someone who likes what you like can be great. It gives you something to chat about and share with each other, yeah? But what if you both want to be at the very top of what you're doing and your main rival is your brother? Can you imagine?
Mount Nyiragongo, located in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. It's found in the Virunga Mountains and located 6 miles from Goma. So what caused Mount Nyiragongo to erupt?
This is Women in African Music virtual exhibition. It was created by the British-Nigerian documentary photographer Michael Tubes.
Women in African Music exhibition is about celebrating our women behind the scene and our women performing on the stage.
The leadership of the Landless People's Movement claims that Windhoek is the ancestral territory of the Damara, Herero and Afrikaner people, making them entitled to the land in and around the city. This comes after a letter surfaced on social media of LPM Windhoek City Councillor Shadai Governors purportedly requesting for land 9 days after taking office.
We also dismissed useless people like Job Amupanda. Tomorrow, if he wants to get a seat, he used land. The next day, without understanding the historical existence of what he goes and his what is it, Amonime or what? the guys that are copying, trying to speak like Malemas and Floyd Shivambus, even when they talk, they must say, trying to copy another. You are so dumb that you even copy another politician, mimic. Truth must come out in the end. We want to see who is lying in this instance. But it's clear from our side that Councillor Sade, maybe because she's too critical to the mayor of Omalala Amupanda, that they thought, oh, let's frame her and take her out. And that one, we cannot condone it. It's wrong. We are not in the business of framing people, or we are not in the business of playing a detective role. Every time someone questions you, they are corrupt, they are against me. But you have the right to go around and question everybody, but you cannot be questioned and then you start to cry. Governors does not know or does not have a second home like the mayor from Omalala, Job Amupanda. Here, if things get tough here in Vendu, Job runs to Omalala. He goes and sits there, how do you call it, record? That thing. Huh? He goes and sits there and say, I'm here at my ancestral land. Now, where will poor Sade governors go? Or the similar people, the Lausan guys that were arrested other year by Minister Alfus Noruzo, they were jailed there. Is it CIAs? Next to the airport. They were jailed there. Or the other chief governors, they don't have land. Now, what I would have done if I was a mayor now is I would have bought tracts of land and deliberately resettle those communities.
Local authority councillor representing the Landless People's Movement, Shade Governors, clarified in a telephonic interview that the letter making rounds on social media platforms is fake and the signature is false. Governor said that she approached the office of the mayor, Job Amupanda, to clarify and give her side of the story, but did not get an audience with Amupanda.
As I've also previously stated, the letter was circulating on social media. Now, when I found out about the letter, what I did was I wrote to the SE, the Strategic Executive, Mr. Manda, who's the custodian of land, the department, and I wrote to the CEO, and I also wrote to the mayor, the office of the mayor. Now, I haven't received a response from the CEO or the office of the mayor. I received a response from the Strategic Executive, and obviously stating that his department had never received that letter. Now, the concern is that the letter has the office of the mayor's stamp on it, as well as what I obviously saw was that my signature was on the letter, and that the date was the 11th of December, basically saying that I applied for land 9 days after I was sworn in. Now, I wrote to the mayor to ask for clarity. Basically, who received the letter? They stated it was 9 days after I was sworn in. And why hasn't the mayor responded on the letter? Because remember, when the application of David's came out, Arrive had applied, Sklaver had applied. So since I had applied, or the letter stipulates that I applied, why was that not mentioned? So I inquired to the office of the mayor. Unfortunately, I haven't received any answers.
Today on One had a telephonic conversation with affirmative repositioning spokesperson Simon Aminime, and this is what he had to say about the matter.
Forgery is a very serious matter. If there is a letter that was forged, go to the institution which is the city is there. Go to the CEO because the letter is saying it was addressed to the CEO. If you are not satisfied, you go to the police and open a case. If needs be, then you can sue the person. So it's actually very disappointing to have some sort of someone who's called the deputy leader of a political party that calls a press conference to discuss gossips. A national leader calls a press conference to discuss gossips. So we are not worried because Master Henny said that we have always known him to be a heavy drunkard. He's a guy that we're very happy because he was getting rehabilitated. We are very happy. He went to school at a very later stage. He attained a degree, but it seems he's still bitter because the relationship between Master Henny Seibeb and Dr. Job Ampanda always remain a learner and a teacher. That's what it is. Job is not in his league. He will never be at this level. He can try whatever theatrics he wants to do. that will never happen. That's why then they want us to give them some sort of prominence by discussing them and engage them in the media. We are not interested in those things, not even myself. So, if they are discussing, saying that Master Job and Panda have a central land and the north they don't have and so forth, what is so difficult? They are members of parliament. Affirmative reposition movement is a social justice movement that doesn't have representation in the National Assembly. LPM is represented in all structures of government. Don't they have the testicular fortitude for them to be able to agitate and change policies?
Remember the mission. Yeah. Revisualize the vision. Connect to the journey, stir early. Step one, step two, next step. Restart at the beginning of what I'm feeling. The future we believe in. Let's start dreaming. NAMIBIA. No matter what they say, we here to stay. So find believers just like you. Hand in hand, this is what we do. More steps, yeah, we get through. Let's go. Start again, you can. You connected to the world, yeah, we stand. Determined to move on hand in hand. Put the switch on, a new reform. Let's rise. Together we rise. MTC, make the connection.
Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until 4 November. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls, $89.99 per pack. Buy Pampers Premium Care Pants or Disposable Nappies Value Pack, $241.99 per pack. Buy Nivea Body Lotion and Cream 400 mils 2 for $82. And buy Protex Soap 200 grams 3 for $36. Clicks. Feel good. Pay less.
Early this morning, woke up holding my head, hearing my heartbeat all night long. Shades of this motel, keeping me in bed, reading the news, just trying to stay strong. I need to just get up, take a deep breath, keep it together, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Sun on my face, feeling okay. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Feel so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Feel so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day.
Members from the Podesta Group, which falls under the Community Savings Group, an initiative by the Shack Dwellers Federation, are up in arms over skyrocketing water bills. The organised group develops and builds houses for low-income earners, but some members now say the sharing of water meters is becoming a challenge as some are refusing to contribute towards the bill.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Aggrieved members from the Podesta Group have raised concern on the sharing of a water meter bill, with Emilia Ampasi, a 55-year-old woman, who says she is tired of sharing a water meter with 15 households as fellow members end up not paying their portion of the bill, making it more expensive for those who comply.
Ometa imwejo no atito para nemo mante jononga na kaman ombapira meange apit ombapiro tunjo aikataro akontogum tamuyaro romba apira tamuyaro rakujo omeoga pitaninga so tahara neke gumakarare no meta tatupoane o meta tatupoane o meta ndidnando ndidukarat tasipaivo magumbo gamu Anto erimo ne family danto erimo 20, 15, 10 people. Manga ne muri yari nenge muri atatu. Nengon teri mwaro ya ikendo tafuti maruanzo. Paifo hatuki ya gano meango tagapato, nengo marusheno tagapato. Agefe shasha shimwe shapato. oshone hashiketa nwa kuchanwa ngino futa ningino ningashikita mkaraka muno me tamukateka pushing sasho tunaro metai unjugota unika ngo wafuta nge kusha kuchongaro ukabe.
Ons het net een meter wat daar sit en dit word tussen die 16 mense gedeel. Ons het 16 huise hier, so die water word gedeel tussen die 16 mense en dan die drome mense betaal meer as ons wat nie drome het nie. Maar die bedrag is altyd meer. Die probleem van ons is die water is baie duur, die water kom baie uit en ons soek koopwater. Ons het nou jare en jare gesukkel, briewe geskryf, laat ons nou koopwater kry. Verlede jaar die mense het gesê dit moet 3600 wees en ons moet nou die deposit gee, eers die helfte gee en die oorige van 3600 moet ons afbetaal. Tot nou toe ons het nou nie koopwater nie. Daar staan die skuld is omtrent 60000 wat ons skuld. Want ons kan nou nie bekostig om te betaal nie. Nou daai skuld staan hier die kant. Dan betaal jy die water R900 hierso en die skuld moet jy R500 betaal. Ek is nou 59 jaar oud, waar kry ek nou die geld om te betaal? Ons soek asseblief koopwater. As ons nou koopwater kry, dan sal ons moes die water koop, seker R300 se water. En van die 800 aftal ek moes die skuld afbetaal, dan sal die skuld klaar wees.
National facilitator for the Sheikh Dwellers Federation, who is also a member of another group called the People's Square Group, says that they are aware of the high water bills and explain how the process works when one applies for a shared water meter.
Bethesda is a part of the Sheikh Dwellers Federation of Namibia. We also advise them to have at least the individual water meter in their houses, so as well they are working with the big one water meter. Then Bethesda is having a high water bill. I am aware of that. Even Micro is having high water bill. But the problem of the group is coming to the group members and discuss themselves. First, calculate each individual's areas and inform the members on a monthly basis that this is the areas for Peter Pen, Poland, Waria, and whatever. And then the group will talk to those people and say, wow, how are you going to pay the areas? And then that person will make an arrangement with the group and say, okay, I will pay in whatever, maybe 500 rand or extra or with areas. And then the current one, I will pay it on a monthly basis. Then if the group is in areas, they will negotiate, how to put it, talk to the municipality and arrange their payments with the municipality. Because the problem that when the group is in areas, the municipality will come in and just disconnect the water for the whole group. But whenever you are real arrangement with the municipality, they are not doing that. But you must also make sure that you commit yourself to do whatever you have arranged with the municipality.
Banga further acknowledged that the Podesta group has members that are not paying their bills, making life for those who pay very difficult. When contacted by Today on One, the City of Windhoek's Public Relations Officer Lydia Amtenya noted that they are aware of the matter and are attending to it. Amtenya further noted that the department responsible for water meters installations will find an amicable solution to enable their residents to be billed individually.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Agribank's livestock and post-settlement loans beneficiary, Agnes Supi Chiramba, is a determined full-time resettled female farmer who aspires to leave a mark in a male-dominated agriculture industry through her contribution to the country's food security and employment creation. Chiramba got resettled 2 decades ago on farm Grootrooi Belt Unit C in the Gobabas district in the Omaheke region. She farms mainly with large stock and have ventured into other farm income-generating activities such as charcoal production, horticulture and aquaculture. According to Chiramba, she also plans to add poultry to her farming ventures list very soon, adding that a passion for farming started at a very young age by assisting her parents in numerous farming activities. She formally embarked on her farming journey as a subsistence farmer at her grandmother's residential area, where she acquired a livestock loan from Agribank. She then ventured into commercial farming after she got resettled at her current farm in 1999. Later, she received a post-settlement loan from the government through Agribank, which enabled her to set up systems before becoming a full-time resettled farmer in 2008. Currently, she has 12 permanent employees, and from time to time, she recruits above 12 casual workers. Chiramba says some of her best experiences in farming includes freedom to think independently, being innovative, being her own boss, and the ability to feed her family and the nation at large. She thus advised her fellow women as well as the youth to consider agriculture as another business opportunity to venture into and work extra hard to become economically independent. She also appeals to authorities to resettle more women and youth to equally own land and participate in economic opportunities in farming.
It's Bucky season at OK, where everybody's rushing for the chance to win a Bucky, fully loaded with groceries every week. Just buy any of our participating products and swipe. Plus, get Bocomo Super Maize Meal for just $93.99, Pampers Active Baby Nappies at just $166.99, and Lifebuoy Soap for a low $9.99. Don't miss this Bucky season, only at OK. Owners you can count on.
More than ever before, football fans demand unique insight and analysis. The Football Review is much more than a highlights show. Bold, provocative editorial that goes beyond conventional reporting, setting the agenda for football discussion. Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga 1, and much more. Want genuine insight with hard-hitting editorial? Need compelling premium football content? The Football Review. Best, bar none.
In other leading stories, at the end of August, Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security Minister Albert Kawana launched Amnesty Month that covered the whole of September 2021. The initiative gives an opportunity for those who possess illegal arms and ammunition to surrender such arms without being prosecuted. This week, the Ministry and NAMPOL gave feedback whereby the Inspector General Sebastian de Tunga said the public responded well to the call. He highlighted that 123 pistols, 97 shotguns, 327 rifles, 1 machine gun, and 24,300 rounds of ammunition were surrendered during the Amnesty Month. He further said that now the Amnesty Month has lapsed, citizens should be aware that the wrath of the law will pursue them and called on the public to report persons that are in possession of suspected arms and ammunition. And the Windhoek Mayor Dr. Job Amupanda requested the Spanish ambassador to Namibia, His Excellency Mr. Antonio Javier Romero Pintor, in April this year to convey Windhoek's desire to collaborate with both the municipality of Madrid and the world-renowned Real Madrid Football Club. As a result of ongoing engagements in this regard, Real Madrid has now committed to contribute to the development of sports through local school programs funded by the Real Madrid Foundation. In September, the embassy facilitated the first introductory meeting between the Namibian sports authorities, stakeholders, the City of Windhoek External Relations, and the Real Madrid Foundation. Going forward, the proposed cooperation initiative will be led by the various Namibian sports authorities, specifically the Ministry of Sports, Youth and National Service, and the Namibia Sports Commission. The City of Windhoek will, however, remain a stakeholder in these collaborations. Discussions are ongoing to define the framework of this relationship. Representatives from the Spanish Football League, La Liga, will visit Windhoek in October on a familiarization tour of Namibia and will also meet the mayor during their visit.
you can be tempted to become bitter and cynical. You're tempted. You're not there yet. Maar jy het besluit, man, die ding wat ek aangedoen is, gaan my verbitter, ek gaan my verbitter maak. So you feel to give yourself over to those emotions of becoming cynical and you can also be tempted to take revenge. Paulus sê, you have been grafted, julle is ingeënt in Christus. Wat Christus is, moet julle wees. Wat uit hierdie boom uitkom, ek is die ware wynstok, ek is eintlik die bron waaruit julle lewe. Dit moet in julle vrug wees. Julle moet smaak soos ek smaak, sê die Here. Kan ek 'n amen kry? Ek hou niks meer van julle terug nie. Julle is opgegradeer.
Are you a CMAS member? Did you know that should you need medical treatment, you have access to quality private hospitalization, guaranteed specialist treatment in private hospitals across Namibia with Compliment Gap. Compliment Gap is a complimentary product for CMAS members only, which covers the shortfall between what CMAS pays and private hospitals charge. You and your family have more than 2 million in medical gap cover per year at a very affordable price. That's not all. You also have access to emergency evacuation within Namibia and $10 million international travel cover for those unforeseen events abroad. Take the financial burden off your shoulders, invest in your family's health. SMS GAP to 999 555 and we'll contact you. Terms and conditions apply.
We are molded with the utmost intricacy, unique and ever-evolving. But we will always need a guiding hand.
Time now for Business on One with Joseph Shifeni.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. I'm your host, Joseph Shifeni. The Minister of Trade and Industrialization officiated at an event where the ministry launched the high-level core group that will be responsible for the implementation of the revised national quality policy. In attendance were representatives from various government offices, ministries and agencies.
Minister Lucia Impumbu said the implementation of the policy is long overdue as it was initially set to be initiated in April 2021. She highlighted some of the functions of the high-level core group.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main objective of the revised quality policy is to improve the business environment and the quality of products and services in general. In doing so, we know we are going to increase both the domestic and foreign investors' confidence. Our businesses today, either public or private institution on the international market, requires goods and services to be of high quality and to meet the recognized standards internationally.
The ministry's director, Dana Nashidengo, delivered a speech on behalf of the Deputy Minister who encouraged the group members to work hard as the policy will strengthen the quality and assurance of the country's products.
Allow me to encourage all officials nominated in the core group to fully take ownership of the implementation of our policy, to coordinate technical regulation activities at national level that will allow Namibia to achieve its industrialization ambition. The implementation of the national quality policy requires dedication and commitment, as well as a drive to collaborate with all key stakeholders that will allow us to ensure that the objectives of the policy are achieved with positive results.
The officials were nominated by the respective institutions to represent them on the policy.
Thank you for watching. Join me again next time, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Great combo deal from Choppies! Choppies, great value for your money.
Dear teachers, we know all the hard work you put in every day to make sure our kids get the best education possible. It's also our goal here at One Africa TV's #LearnOn1. That's why we bring free quality supplementary lessons that are 100% Namibian, complements of NMH's MyZone. Lessons include early childhood development programs and primary school lessons. These air on One Africa TV every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. Retired Ministry of Health and Social Services employee, Mr. Fabian Sisamu, based in the Lusese area, just 50 kilometers east of Katima Mulilo, took up farming with a focus on horticulture. Sisamu grows different kinds of fruits and vegetables, such as, amongst others, cabbage, onions, spinach, bananas and mangoes. Siluka says he is inspired by Sisamu's determination, courage and dedication. Jessica is happy to see that our elders are taking good care of themselves. While Tala says great job to be retired. And the Landless People's Movement leadership is under fire with the community of Malta here after recalling their councillor Moses Buys on allegations that he lives with SWAPO members and drinks alcohol. In a telephonic interview with LPM councillor Moses Buys, he stated that his leadership handled the case poorly, adding that he is very disappointed in Bernardus Swartboy. Eric notes that LPM should be careful with recalling and suspending councillors, adding that the next election will be harsh on them. Martinez asks, aren't we all humans? Adding that this proves that the LPM's leadership structures are weak. While Palace notes that if he has to choose between politics and operating a shebeen without a liquor license, he will choose the unlicensed shebeen. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast only on Today on One.
Oranjemund, established in 1936, from which point onward CDM, now Namdeb Diamond Corporation, provided every service, the schooling, infrastructure and entertainment required for the people of the town. The winds of change is blowing over Oranjemund, which is no longer a closed town.
So this ship was commandeered by King Jao III, and he actually sent a knight to Spain to go and fetch some money from investors, because they wanted to go and fetch some spices in India.
When we were kids, the mine delivered milk, bread, and black paper, black plastic bags for your rubbish, and cleaned your garden, did the maintenance of your house. You had furniture already installed in your house.
Time now for today's sports update with Castro Ulumbu.
Welcome to Sports on One. I'm your host, Castro Ulumbu. The 2021 Commerce Netball League recently concluded after a long absence due to the disruption of the COVID-19 pandemic and regulations set by the government in regards to contact sports. The league consisted of a first and second division as well as a Commerce Super 10 League. Today on One Sports has more on this story. At the conclusion of the 2021 Commerce Netball League, Afrocat Lions were crowned the Super 10 League's champions as they went unbeaten in their 14 league games of the season. After winning the season and having been automatically promoted to the MTC Namibia Netball League, Sports on One caught up with the winning coach, who is also the coach of the season, Dimitri Bittler, to give his take on the concluded season.
Well, it's been a roller coaster of a year. The hard work of 7 years paying off finally. So it's been really quite an interesting year, and we've tried doing everything correct, not 100%, but we've arrived at the point that we wanted to arrive, which is promotion to the MTC League, to get a professional outfit, and also winning the Commerce League for the first time. It's quite an achievement, and I'm so excited and proud of my girls. Well, winning the league, since we were cut out because of our position in 2019, we ended third, and we couldn't get promoted because of our position in 2019. We decided that we're going to make sure that this season we are part of the top flight league in Namibia by winning the Commerce Netball Super 10.
Bittler also weighed in on the way forward for his team, highlighting development as one of the key components going into the new season.
The way forward for us is definitely going to be hard work and probably development as well. Our structures, our grassroots structures are quite strong, so we're going to definitely look at who's going to come up, if we're going to maintain the same team, or are we actually going to bring up some of the players that are down there. So we have quite a busy off-season once they come back from the break. The public should really start coming to support the female sports as they support the male sports. It's exciting. That's why we got involved. Please come in your numbers to support the ladies when they play, and the commercial entities as well to come on board and give their hand to the female sport codes.
Other accolades on the day were for NAST 1B that won the first division and the Namibia Correctional Services triumphing in the second division. FNB Wanderers won 3 awards, Afrocat Lions coach Dimitri Betler and player Jessica Kodachike Katupose and Rehoboth Netball Club player Renee van Veek were the big winners on the day. And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again tomorrow for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thanks a lot, Castro, for the latest in sports. Time now for the weather forecast. A look at the weather forecast. The Namibia interior partly cloudy and warm to hot with a few thunder showers in the northeast and the extreme southwest. Elsewhere sunny and warm to hot. Fresh to strong westerly winds are expected to persist. The coast partly cloudy and cool with fog patches in the morning and the wind light to moderate northwesterly to southwesterly. Now we look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond. We have come to the end of this evening's edition of Today on One. You can join us again for a repeat at 9:30, 6 a.m. and the Omnibus Saturdays from 9 to 2. From me, Maggie Forciero, and the rest of the team, till next time, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Mama! Go away!
COVID-19 affects people very differently. Many people show no symptoms at all, but some are hospitalised for weeks. So what does the disease do to your body? The coronavirus enters through the mouth, nose or eyes. It then usually attaches itself to cells lining the nose, throat, airways or lungs. It can turn these cells into factories that multiply and spread the virus. For the majority, a fever, cough and breathlessness are as bad as it gets. But the virus can damage the small blood vessels lining the lungs and initiate clotting. The alveoli are tiny air sacs where oxygen goes into the blood. If they become inflamed, it can trigger pneumonia. Seriously ill patients need to be given oxygen as the lungs fill with fluid and debris.
I legit couldn't breathe. My oximeter was measuring under 88% oxygen levels, which is very dangerous. And the only time I ever thought my life was in danger was at that point.
COVID-19 doesn't just affect the lungs. It can also disrupt the immune system, which is used by the body to fight illnesses. Cytokines are part of the immune system that find and signal infections. For some people with severe COVID-19, this system can go into overdrive. If too many cytokines build up, it can cause an overreaction that damages healthy cells. This is called a cytokine storm for the most severe cases. COVID-19 can lead to seizures or even a coma. It can also cause brain problems that lead to strokes. The immune system overreacting can cause clots that stop the blood supply to parts of the brain. Brain inflammation, psychosis and dementia-like symptoms can also affect seriously ill patients. The average length of the illness is 14 days, but many people have symptoms for much longer. Breathing problems and post-viral fatigue last for months in some cases.
I cannot walk for long simply because I will feel a little bit short of breath and I feel the need to sit down. And that's something that has never happened to me before.
Some of the people who are most likely to develop severe symptoms are older adults and those with underlying health conditions. It's not fully known how anyone will react to COVID-19 until they get it. So it's important for everyone to follow health guidance. What precautions are you taking to stay safe?
Beautiful souls, this is Nikita Winkler and I am here to share easy tools for stretching that you can do just about anywhere. This is a demonstration, so what's most important is that you take the time in each position that your body needs to release its tension. In this session, we will stretch the hips. What you'll need are yoga blocks or books, thick books, or pillows, especially if you have tight hips. You can do this on a mat, on the floor, on a blanket, or even in your bed. Let's get started. So we're going to start on the floor with the soles of our feet together. I'm going to grab around the feet. This is a butterfly position. So in order to warm up the hips, I'm just going to flap the butterfly wings. And again, take your time. I'm going to lean forward, and here, again, if the hips are too tight, you can place your blocks, books, or pillows underneath. You might even feel a stretch in the back here. From this position, I'm going to take one arm right behind me, not too far from my body. The other arm, inhale, exhale, press the hip open. and come back to center. Change. One arm right behind me to lengthen the spine, the other hand on the knee. Inhale, exhale, press the hip open and back to center. Now we're going to lie down on the floor. And first, before I get started, I have to make sure that my body, my spine is in alignment. I'm going to just open up the neck area. And you can spend as much time as you need here, allowing the force of gravity to weigh on the legs to open up the hips. You can place your blocks, books, or pillows underneath the knees. And gradually, you can take the feet even further down and spend enough time in each position. From here, we're going to go into an internal hip rotation. I'm going to spread my feet to the side, lean the knees inwards. If you have a little bit more flexibility, you don't really feel the stretch, just take your feet even further apart to deepen this internal rotation stretch in your hips. From here, I'm just going to place my feet, and without repositioning the feet, I'm going to take my arms to the side, and then I'm just going to rock my legs side to side, keeping the upper body facing up, shoulders down. And then I'm going to stop on one side, take the lower leg over the upper to add weight to deepen the stretch. Release the leg and switch. Other side, lower over the upper. And back to center. Last part, I'm going to spread my legs as wide open as I can, and I'm going to just row the boat. So what's important here is that the knees don't lift off the floor. Make sure you row both sides. Keep the knees and both bum cheeks on the floor. Alternatively, you can just lean forward. You can hang out on the pillow. Take your time on the blocks or on your books. And that is it. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to breathe into your stretches, and happy stretching.
Prevention is important. Help prevent the spread of illness and keep yourself and others well. Hand washing is one of the most effective ways of preventing the spread of germs. Wash your hands regularly with soap and hot water, scrubbing your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds. Hand sanitizers can be used but are not recommended as a substitute for hand washing. Use sanitizers in addition to hand washing or in a situation where soap and water are not available. To avoid spreading germs, limit sharing of personal items such as utensils, cups, and dishes. Your skin acts as a barrier to germs, but your eyes, nose, and mouth are more vulnerable. Wash your hands thoroughly before touching your face, eating, or drinking. Avoid physical contact with others, including handshakes, fist bumps, high fives, hugs, and kisses.